Let's get ready to rumble! You can't handle the truth.
Well, it's Monday, so let's go ahead and jump right in and get everybody up to date and everything that's happening in the news right now. The Senate will vote to confirm Ninja Brown Jackson as the first woman of color to serve as a justice on the United States Supreme Court. Whoopi Goldberg said on The View, anyone that doesn't vote to confirm her is doing so because she's black. Well, here's the issue, Whoopi. Let's take the fact that Joe Biden, from the moment he was sworn in as the President of the United States, he made it emphatically clear that if he had an opportunity to nominate someone to the U.S. Supreme Court, it was going to be, quote, a woman of color. That was the only litmus test. Yet neither Ninja Brown Jackson or the Biden administration can actually define for us what a woman actually is. So the nominee can't define a woman. The White House can't define a woman. How do they know they've actually nominated a woman? It's just one of those thoughts that's randomly running through my mind today. Elon Musk has just become the majority stockholder of Twitter. Can you say, ba-da-dum-ba-bum, oh, baby? Elon Musk has been taking a lot of shots at Twitter over the fact of their suppression of free speech. Can you imagine Elon Musk literally taking the reins of Twitter and then bringing back President Donald Trump? Now, I know Trump is in the middle of getting Truth Social off the ground. And by the way, there have been a few glitches, but they're taking it slow, methodical, and I am waiting for the Android app to come out. And once that happens, I will be on Truth Social. But can you imagine the Twitter users waking up one morning and jumping on their favorite fascist, socialist-loving, Marxist social media site where everybody is just parroting the exact same things, and instead of seeing the little Twitter bird, it's the Truth Social icon because Elon and Trump merged together? And Tulsi Gabbard continues to make her shift to the right. You know, I noticed probably a couple of years ago, actually, that during the Democratic primary, that Tulsi was continually moderating herself more toward the right. And Sean Hannity, probably because he had a little crush on her, he had her on a lot. And now, Tulsi Gabbard, she is completely on the outs with what you would call the establishment Democrats, came out yesterday in support of Governor Ron DeSantis' parental rights bill in the state of Florida. This is just after that the Maryland governor, who pretends to be a Republican, a rhino, went on national television over the weekend and said that the, quote, "Don't Say Gay" bill would have never passed in Maryland, and then he went on to admit he's never even read it. Tulsi Gabbard, one-time darling of the Democrats, said there is no reason to sexualize children. And you do have to wonder, what is it about liberals and Democrats always having these just weird fascination and fetishes of the things they want to teach, train, and mold your children to be? So as the country continues to erode and we continue to slide even further, over the weekend, pundits on PMSNBC, CNN, and the rest of the lying legacy corporate corrupt mainstream media are beginning to panic, outwardly panic, that they're going to, quote, lose the country in the midterms as things really continue to shift toward Republicans, toward conservatives, toward, yes, the return of Donald J. Trump. Now, as much as Team Biden keeps trying to blame the inflation and gas prices on our sanctions on Russia, and it is our democratic duty to stand with Ukraine. Why? Ukraine's not a democracy. You do know that, right? Ukraine is not a democracy. Over the weekend, Zelensky, Wapinski, Karpinski, whatever ski, went ahead and removed some generals for being, quote, traitors. I am sure there was no military trial, no tribunal. He just decreed it, and these guys will probably never be heard from again. And is our media going to ask any questions about it? No. Is anyone in Ukraine going to ask any questions about it? No. And why is that? Because Zelensky is no different than Putin. You're trying to ramp up support in a war for really which dictator is less maniacal. Zelensky is the result of the United States and the CIA ousting a duly elected government, installing a government, and then Zelensky became the people's pick. Yeah, okay. So we are constantly being bombarded with it's our patriotic duty to stand with Ukraine. Ukraine, who is castrating the Russian soldiers that they are taking as prisoners of war. Ukraine, which said these are not human beings and referring to captured Russian soldiers. These are subhuman and they need to be exterminated. Okay. And Team Biden wonders why only 24% of Americans, in polling released over the weekend, only 24% of Americans buy into the idea that the gas prices and the inflation they're feeling is a result of sanctions. Because, Joe, all of this was heading in that direction long before Putin ever rolled one tank into Ukraine. So, I found this over the weekend, and I thought I would pass it on. I thought it would be a great way and an interesting consideration that maybe if Biden really wanted to turn things around and fix things heading into the midterm, that he might be able to stem off the conservative onslaught that's coming. Maybe he could consider these facts. Americans spend $36 million every hour of every day at Walmart. That works out to be a profit of about $20,928 a minute. Walmart will sell more from January the 1st to St. Patrick's Day than Target department stores will all year in total sales combined. Walmart is bigger than Home Depot, Target, Sears, and Costco combined. Walmart employs 1.6 million people, the world's largest private employer, and most of them speak English. Walmart is the largest company in the history of the world. Walmart now sells more food than Kroger and Safeway combined. And keep in mind, they have done this in 15 years. During this same period, 31 supermarket chains in the United States filed for bankruptcy. Walmart now sells more food than any other store in the world. Walmart has approximately 3,900 stores, 2,000 of which are supercenters. And this is 1,000 more than it had 5 years ago. This year, 7.2 billion different purchasing experiences will occur at a Walmart store. Keep in mind that the Earth's population is about 6.5 billion. 90% of all Americans live within 15 minutes of Walmart. Now, why am I saying all this? It's not because I'm a big Walmart guy. I have shopped at Walmart. I will continue to shop for certain things at Walmart. I don't go there a lot, but I do go there. But I want you to keep in mind that everything that you just heard me list out for you describes a company, whether you like them or not, whether you agree with them or not. They are well organized. They are not shutting their doors. They are growing. They are expanding. And they know exactly what they're doing. So here's my idea for President Joe Biden and his handlers. hire Walmart to run the economy of the United States. Seriously. Just go ahead and just kind of sublease that part of your duties out. Go ahead and make them your private contractor overseeing the economy, because apparently they know what they're doing. And President Biden and the 535 members of the Congress, which includes the House of Representatives and the Senate, haven't got a clue what to do to fix things and turn things around. To really appreciate Walmart's growth and what they have been able to accomplish, and keep in mind, started by a guy by the name of Sam Walton, who owned a couple of Ben Franklin stores and then decided to strike out on his own. And he would get up at dark 30 in the morning and go to suppliers and pick up his things. And he would literally sell them, pots and pans and whatever, out of the trunk of his car. And he turned that into the largest retailer in the history of retail. Now, keep that in mind when comparing what the government has run. The United States Postal Service was established in 1775. They've had over 247 years to get things right, and it's broke, and it doesn't work. And I have a mailman that I have no idea why this person has a job, because they go past my house at least average 5 times a day, having to backtrack and take mail to places they forgot to get to when they were walking through the first time. Social Security was established in 1935. They've had 86 years to get it right, and it's broke. Fannie Mae was established in 1938. It's had 71 years to get it right, and it's broke. The War on Poverty was launched by LBJ in 1964. You would have thought that after 57 years and $1 trillion confiscated each year in the form of tax money to, quote, help the poor, we wouldn't have any poor people left, but we got a lot of them, and more every year. Medicare, Medicaid, established in 1965. After 56 years, you would have thought they would get it right, but nope, they're broke. Freddie Mac was established in 1970. They've had 51 years, and, yep, you guessed it, they're broke. The Department of Energy, created in 1977 under Jimmy Carter. It was their job to lessen our dependence on foreign oil. How are they doing with that? I mean, they've got 16,000 employees, a $24 billion a year budget. And after 44 years, it's an abysmal failure. We had 2 years of complete energy independence, and that was under Donald J. Trump. And in came Obama Biden, and now we are completely dependent on foreign oil. The U.S. government has failed in every service it provides. Why do you think they can fix the economy? The economy was going relatively well under Donald J. Trump. You know why? He was not a career established politician. He was the outsider, the businessman who came in and said, this is the way you run a business. This is the way we have to run the business end of the United States. And Shazam, Batman, it worked. And now we think turning everything back over to career politicians, the oligarch, the deep state that can't run or fix anything. All they want to do is run and manipulate and control you and take your tax dollars for their warped, woke, social justice, bullhawk hogwash. Liberals are the biggest racists on the planet. Some of you in these communities of color, you minority communities, you ought to take a real look. The liberals are not helping you win your cause for real social justice, for real equality. They're erasing your history. Tearing down statues and getting rid of Aunt Jemima is not doing anything to further your cause. In fact, it's just erasing your history. It's erasing the Civil War. It's erasing the fight against slavery. It's erasing slavery. It never happened. Woke Walt Disney is now making remakes of their classics. Lady and the Tramp is a live-action movie where you have gay couples who are married at 1900 Missouri. Really? The owners of Little Lady, a white husband, a black wife, female members of City Hall, none of which happen. But of course, you keep programming and feeding that into the minds of children, there will come a point where there was never any slavery in America. There's never been any racism. Everything has always been wonderful. Do you understand? Liberals in reality, like a certain group of old that tried to exterminate an entire race of people. Liberals are doing it the same way, only they're doing it by using you, people of color, to erase yourselves. This is what liberals offer. This is what the Democrats have to offer. And this is exactly why it takes an outsider coming in. And it's time. It is time. It is time. It is time to prepare for the return of Donald J. Trump. And again, he didn't do everything right. But certainly, one thing he knows how to do is get America back to being America.